Matt, I know that spiritual formation is embedded in everything that you all do at the Forge. Can you share a little more about how that looks, how youth have an experience of God while also learning the life skills that you're teaching them?
Yeah, I would say that that is probably the growing edge of what we're doing. Um, because up until now, we were, well, honestly, just trying to get things up and started and working. Um, but there's some simple things. Like one of our program directors that does our weight program is all about beauty. So like one of the practices that he has that I think I would consider a spiritual formation practice is they go out and observe sunsets. Everything stops. If the day is beautiful, everything stops, and they go outside the gym to just stop and watch.
Oh,
I think that's a formational practice. We do meals together. That's a formational practice in my mind. Breaking bread together, no matter what you do, I think the Spirit is present when you do those kinds of things. We've started to do Bible studies, and it's been a fascinating diversity of different kinds of kids and young adults that have engaged with that. Um, I think those have mattered. Prayer, not yet with the students in a significant way, but our leadership, actually, spiritual formation, I think has mattered almost more there than anything else. Praying together, discerning together, all of those things are kind of a core part of our sort of DNA. And I think our hope is as we start to bring the ministry component more to the fore rather than just the jobs and mentorship component, sort of from a secular public perspective, that we'll be able to do more in that. And we have more and more kids that are interested in that, that are ready for that, and are curious. Because one of the things that I think is so critical is just we just talk about our faith naturally. Like, this is who I am. And you don't have to be that, but this is very much as an extension of who I am and what I believe about the world and why things are. And so that begins to open up kind of conversation. That's a sort of spiritual formation moment. The only other one I would say is, our goal setting that we do. It's not really about the goals. It's really about self-reflection. Why do I want the things that I want? What kind of person am I? And I use the language like how have I been made? These, like, what am I thankful for? Where do I need to extend forgiveness? And where do I need to go tidy up and confess? These are all things we build into our like goal setting process. And those are inherently formational practices, confession and forgiveness, right? Asking why I maybe even worship the things that I want, right? These are formation questions are always formational. Jesus uses them more often than he uses teaching. In some way, there's stories that ask questions. So I think those are all practices, but it's not something we don't do as much overt and direct spiritual formation remotely as like I would do with kids on a retreat in my youth group. It's one of the reasons why I still want a church youth group. It's a different animal. It has its own sacred things that are unique to the church that I don't think you can replicate or delete in other ways in the social enterprise model. I think that will always be somewhat of an entree unless somehow you grew it into a full church somehow. You really have to wrestle with some ecclesiology there. But I think they're a little bit different. So I would say it's not nearly as much as I would do in my normal youth ministry. But there are some things that are starting to emerge, and I don't know where it'll be in 4 years.
And it's that not knowing that allows the Spirit to do what the Spirit
Yeah,
does, right? So
yeah, it makes it
yeah.
inherently interesting to me,
Yeah.
just because how I am.